Thank you for joining me. Today we're going to paint these trees in the sunset. I will publish 3 new learning videos every week on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And on Sunday, the reference image for the video that most viewed and commented, I will upload it on YouTube for my subscribers to download. How to subscribe? Click the subscribe button below this video. I will give you 5 seconds before we start the painting. You know, I use exclusively the brushes from enjoyingart. Order yours today at enjoyingart.com brushes. The first thing we need to decide which is the horizon line. And sometimes it seems like could be perfect in the reference already, but you do want to actually give a little bit thought, give it a couple minutes and thinking about it, because that's just the foundations of your painting. So I'm mixing that yellow and red. So put your finger over here, maybe a little bit lower, a little bit higher, depends on what it would be your focus. And you want to focus on the tree. In that case, you want to have the horizon line a little bit lower, right? So I'm going to see, I'll probably put it here like that, but not exactly as high as in the reference. I'm going to put it right here. I'm going to just draw a horizon line like that and coming over here. So I'm going to keep that the sun is right in this area. Okay, don't draw anything onto that. So coming over here, all the way coming there. So keep a little bit yellow over there. So you can actually remind yourself that if I have a little bit yellow color, just put a little yellow color right next to it, right here, like that. That's as a reminder, like that. This is good, right? And this is going to be more than that. Okay, like that. This is good. This is good enough, right? That's first. And then at this step, you can ignore the tree. You can ignore anything on top of the background. So let's start the background color. This is pretty easy. After you know where the sun and the horizon line, and everything will become pretty easy for you. Now I'm going to start using the color in the background. We have 2 different blue color. I see over here. Not usually I use the red shade blue color, but in this case, I think I have a little bit French ultramarine at the top, because this is probably a little bit too cool. So I'm gonna have this take a little bit. Just think about, do you need to use the red shade blue color over here? Okay, this is good. I don't wet the paper normally, unless I have something extremely soft. In this case, I'm just gonna put the color right over there. Let the color mix together right in there. Also, we talk about that. Some of you saying that it's difficult to predict how dark the color is supposed to be. And I can see that it's not dark enough. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to get a little bit more blue. Just use the water to loosen more paint over here. I'm going to put that over here again. And now from here, now I'm going to have a little bit green shade blue color. Get a little bit more green shade and mix that. And keep coming down. This is good. And don't worry, my paper, my table over here is about it's about like 45 degree. Okay, it's not exactly flat to the table. Now I'm gonna coming from here, and I'm gonna just use the water. I'm gonna soften that. Just coming down, let the color get a little bit lighter. Okay, if it have a little bit texture, so be it. This is okay. Okay, now from here, now I'm going to get the red. I don't want to get the yellow, because in that case, it will make it look like green, right? So I'm going to have that's a little red. That's the transition. Like now from the red over here, I'm going to get a little bit more tiny more red. Okay, like that. Coming over here. And maybe just clean the brush. Let go too much red, right? Let go of that. Brush through on this side. This side have a little bit more blue, because it's got a little bit away from, get a little bit more blue over here. Get a little bit away to the sun. So when it go a little bit away from the sun, it actually have a little bit less the red. Now, okay, it could be a little bit problem. I'm going to see. I'm going to keep it like that. And now I'm getting down over here. Now I'm going to remove just too much wet over here. Now I'm going to coming down over here. I'm going to get orange color already. So this is very, very important and a little bit more like need a little bit more control. Now I'm going to have a little bit more orange over here. But don't worry, you can paint it all the way to the land. Okay, like that. A little bit orange. Now this is good. Now I'm going to get a little bit tiny more red. Right. Not really that much. Not really that much. Right over here. A little bit more red on this side. And also have a little bit red over here. That's okay. Like that. And now I'm going to get a little bit tiny red over here. Tiny more red. Right about over here. Like that. Just don't use the small brush. Okay, you're gonna know it when you have too much texture. It could be very difficult to make it connected. Just use the corner of this brush and move the color around. Now, when I come a little bit closer, I'm just take the yellow color. Okay, just use the corner a little bit over here. Now see that? Just step on it. So don't lose the white area. Okay, get a little bit more, just the yellow. Okay, just purely yellow. And putting that yellow in here. Like that. And this is good. And you can blend it, put it next to it, and have a little bit more. Have a little bit more and orangeness. I'm going to take just the yellow right underneath. Okay, a little bit more. Coming over here, coming in a little bit. And also on the right side over here, have even a little bit more yellow. I'm going to brush it a little bit over here into the orange color. This is good. See, have to use a little bit bigger brush. That's okay. Okay. If seeing that color that you don't want, don't worry about it. And I'm going to keep going. Okay, keep going forward. And if the texture you don't want, and that you can come back to fix it after it dries, not when it's wet. Now I'm going to adjust the orange color over here. Now gradually making it off from the yellow, but don't ruin the yellow. Have a little bit more. Now I'm going to get a little bit more red into here. So here you go. Keep going. Changing the color. Like that. That facing in here. So just ignore the tree. It's very important to keep that only focusing on the color underneath. In as the first layer, I'm going to get this over all the way to the right side. It's okay. I'm going to make another layer on the top, and then we can make that separation between the land and that. And also the orange color, if you want it to be brighter after, and then you do that after you dry, right? This is the first layer. Now I'm going to get more red. Wash the brush. Get a lot more red. A lot more red. Just the red. I'm going to put it here. And that color continue wet into wet. Now a little bit more. Like that. This is good. And going over here. Now the rest is the brown color, right? I'm going to just get a little bit more red and get a little bit more blue. Okay, a lot more blue and get a little bit yellow. So because I want it to be a little bit brown, so I have to have a little yellow. And here you go. Right here. Here you go. Now get a little bit darker. Get a little bit lot more yellow. You can clean it with water after. Okay, don't worry about that. And coming over here. Here we go. Now going through. That's just good. Coming over here. Now I'm going to get a little bit darker. That's just the foundation layer. So I'm going to have more yellow. Get more red. A lot more blue. Okay, here you go. A lot more blue over here. Maybe a little bit more red. A little bit too cool. Okay, here we go. Now coming back over here. Now coming over here. Take a look at the horizon line. Okay, here you go. About over here. That's just good. Now I see a little bit more shadow over there. Coming down over here. And when you do that, all the color, all the texture have to be from the sun going out. Can you see that? It has just become very interesting and easy. Okay, this is good. Like that. And over here, I'm going to have that a little bit higher, like that. It looks like there's a land over here. Okay. I'm going to clean my brush and just get a little bit more red, like that. But not too much water, though. Okay. Now, let go of the water. Just only take a little bit red. What I'm doing over here, just tap on it to have a little bit more red over here. That's good. Right in the back. Like that. Okay. And that's going to integrate into it. Maybe even darker. I'm going to get a little bit tiny more blue right over here. A little bit more red. Okay, this is good. Like that. A little bit more. I'm going to have that a little bit tiny, a little bit darker color, the shadow. Okay, this is good. I can add a little bit texture, a little bit. And we're going to come back to have a little bit more texture over here. I'm going to have that little bit shadow, a little bit more, putting away here. Just use the corner of that. Okay, the even more texture. And we can come back after this drive. So this is the first step. So the drive, I'm going to start adding some more yellow colors to the side of the light area. And make sure the color is very clean. I'm going to clean it. Make sure it's a bright yellow color. Okay, that's good. I'm going to take a little bit more yellow. Now I'm going to just put a little color right on the edge over here. Okay, here we go. More yellow. Okay, here we go. Like this. And then have this coming a little bit away. Like I have a little bit more yellow over here too. Take a little bit more yellow, just the corner of this flat brush. Okay, look at again. Coming over here, a little bit more in. And turn around, like over here. And then a little bit more yellow color in. A little bit come in a little bit more. Like that. A lot more yellow. When I have a little bit brighter. Okay, this is good. Right over here. Okay, coming here. Also a little bit more yellow. That's good. Like that. Very nice. I'm going to come in a little bit away to get a little bit more orange color. Okay, over here. I'm going to have this color coming all the way over here. And I can just add a little bit more yellow. Like that, coming up a little bit. That's good. Okay, coming all the way over here. Okay, just brighten up the color. And a little bit more yellow. And here you go. Coming down over here. Have the yellow. The color is very stable. So no worry too much about. Okay. It's very important to use the right brush there. And if the brush is very stiff, synthetic color, nylon hair paint, synthetic paints, and it will definitely gonna stir up the paint underneath. Okay, now I'm going to light up a little bit on the edge over here. I'm going to make this a little bit tiny, a little bit lighter, a little bit softer, like that. Just the corner, just use the corner, 45 degree, and light up a little bit coming up over here. That's just pretty good. Just a little bit softer, a little bit tiny softer. That's all you need. And coming onto this side, I'm going to have a little bit more red. Tiny red. Okay, this is good. A little bit more. Okay, this is good. At the bottom over here, just put that red color. A little bit tiny red color over here. This is good. Like that. And over here too, have a little tiny more red. So you can see a little bit more warmer at the bottom over here. Okay, that's good. Now looking at the bottom over here, this is good, like that, and a little bit more yellow as well. So it look a little bit, feel a little bit more orange. Okay, that's good, like that. Wonderful. Now coming down over here, I'm gonna get a little bit more yellow, as well as get some red color, and add a little bit more, coming a little bit more in with the orange color, coming more in over here. Okay, this is good. A little bit more. Okay, like that. Nice. Coming down over here, more red. Okay, I'm gonna have also the red color start over here coming out. Okay, I'm gonna get a little bit tiny more red. Here you go. And over here. Now this is very important. Squint your eye so you can see the color a little bit more true. Okay, that's good. Like that. That's good. Okay, coming a little bit more away from here. Come back to add a little bit more detail a little bit later. That's good. Look at that. It's very, very bright and beautiful. Okay. Okay, that's good. And we need to come back over here to do the edge a little bit later. And at this point, that looks pretty good. Now I'm going to start painting into the trees. And seeing that from here, right on the edge over here, I'm going to start having the color coming up. But be careful, I just put a little wet color in here. So if you do it right now, and the color would softly spread into the area. I don't want to do that. So at this point, I'm just going to lay out the design, the location of the main tree branches. Okay, so I'm gonna have that a little bit color coming over here. Here we go, and like that, and here we go. I'm gonna have that just a little bit lighter. I'm gonna have that coming up over here. That's gonna start from here. It's getting a little bit more as the gray color. Okay, coming over here, coming up. Here you go. Look at it again. And when you paint the tree, it needs to be a little bit more slowly. Okay, otherwise it doesn't look like tree. The tree more natural, a little bit more slowly curve. And this is good. I'm having this all the way up here. I can have a little big branch, a little bit small, coming on the side. Okay, so I'm gonna go back over here to get a little bit warm color. Keep extended coming down. Just another few minutes, it will be fine. Okay. Now also at this point, I'm gonna have a little bit color over here, a little stick, and you can curve a little bit like that. This is good. And have a little bit coming over here, coming the shadow. And now I'm coming a little bit closer. I'm gonna get a little bit red color, a little bit closer, and I'll go a little bit more red. Okay, if your brush have too much blue, you need to let some color go. Okay, over here. Now I'm gonna have that coming down over here like that. That's good. A little bit soft. You don't have to do exactly the detail what you like. And you just put a little color in here like that. That's good. Like that. That's just fine. Okay, so I'm gonna have a little bit more red color, a little bit tiny more red. I want to get a little bit closer, so I'm gonna put a little bit more red like that. Okay, this is good. This is good. Okay, wonderful. That's good enough. Okay, and we're going to paint this now. This is ready. So now I come back over here, and I'm just going to use just the red. Maybe start from orange color. So I'm going to get that red and with some yellow. Okay, start this color. This is good. Okay, let's take a look. And this, and coming down over here. There's another tree. Another tree trunk coming over here like this. Wonderful. Coming down, keep going down over here and curve and bend it down over here like this. Okay, this is good. And like that. And I have a little bit stick coming down over here. Here you go. Like that. And this is good. And coming down all the way down a little bit more. And going a little bit more brown color down over there. This is good. That's wonderful. The first thing. And I'm gonna have this actually over here. And gradually come down over here. And all the way down there. This is good. I'm gonna have a little color over here too. And so I'm gonna have that wet into wet in this. And I'm gonna have a little bit more red since it's already away from the sun. Okay, like that. Okay, here we go. Now coming over here. That's good. Alright. Now, see that's another coming down. Look at it again. Okay. And this is wet enough. So it is going to stay wet for a little bit longer. Okay. Like that. And it's coming down straight. That's good. Okay. That's coming up over here. And like this. Coming up over here. And connect to this all the way down. And this coming up over there, continue. Okay, this is good. Now I'm gonna have that color a little bit darker. Like here we go. Now the bottom over here, just add a little bit, so add the color in here. And gradually connect it. Okay, over here too, a little bit darker. And here you go. That's a little bit more red. I'm gonna get a little bit more red. A little bit more red. Here you go. A little bit darker. That's just good. Like that. That's very nice. And now get a little bit darker coming up over here. And this is also coming up a little bit darker too. And the bottom over here, I'm going to add a little bit more red color. And a little bit less about orange. That right here. Okay. That's just good. Like that. And connect that in here. That's just good. Now I'm going to have this coming off, have a little bit more blue color, coming off a little bit, and it's going to merge into that color underneath over here. Okay, so that's just good. Keep it going. That's just good. And wonderful. So far, so good. I'm going to have a little bit more red color. And just the red color. Look at it again. Is that just red? Or some yellow too. I'm going to take a look. I think this is just red. This is fine. Over here, I'm going to have some. Okay, a little bit. Here you go. Some stick. And like that. This is wonderful. And I'm going to have a little bit more. A few shape. And like that. And get a little bit more blue. Okay, a little bit more blue over here. Now, get a little bit away. Like that. Here we go. And can open up a little bit more dry brush. Okay, there, here we go. Now, here we go. This is good. And go a little bit faster if you can. Okay, like this. Okay, this is good. I'm gonna have that. It's just the red color. Now, I'm gonna merge into those color. And a little bit merge that into this color. Okay, that's good. Like that. Okay, this is good. Connect down over here. Now this is good. I'm going to have a little bit red over here too. And just coming up over here. And just lit it up over here. And then I'm going to have some color connected in here, which is a lot more blue color. Now here we go. Now get the blue color. And just look at me. how we blend the color. Now here we go. This is good. I'm gonna open the brush a little bit with the hair, and here you go, like that. More red. Okay, a little bit more red. Okay, here we go, like that. Coming down over here. Okay, you see how the overall shape look. That's good. Okay, leave a little gap in the middle over here. That's good. Like that. Have a little bit more gap. But when you get a little bit closer over here, and those color is going a little bit more red. I'm gonna just use this dry brush. Okay, that coming out over here. Just think about look about the shape. Okay, and I'm gonna have a little bit more dry brush like that. So watercolor actually making this a lot easier than other medium. So here we go. That's just good. Now I'm gonna have that little bit more red color. Here you go. A little bit more red color, and have this connected. Okay, here we go. Connected right over here. Okay, that's good. A little bit more red at the bottom here, and this also connected more down over here. That's good. Now continue going up over here, and also have another tree coming down over here, and have a little bit more red. Okay, like that. That's pretty good. Now I'm gonna keep going up. Have just a little bit more blue color. Now I'm gonna have this coming here. Now gradually turn into a little bit more blue, right? It's pretty easy, like that. And over here, I'm gonna have that a little bit branch, going a little bit out. Okay, that's good. That's good. And going a little bit more this way. Okay, that's just pretty good. And see the color changed very nicely. Now, okay, now I'm going to do the branches first. Now on the top over there, very much the same similar color. And get a little bit similar value, a little bit dark enough. Okay, there, here we go. Now this is good. Now, here we go. Now I'm gonna coming over here to take a look. And this branch over here like this and like that. This is good. And there's another branch. Okay, over here coming up. Now a little branch right here. Okay, just a little bit smaller. And here you go. Like that. And extend it a little bit smaller. Okay, this is good. And extend it, split over here. And like that, coming over. This is good. And take a look at some small branch and split again over here. Like this. This is good. And also coming a little bit more smaller. And split that, coming smaller. And actually when the branches is so small, you can use toothpick to paint if you want to. Okay, like this. That's good. That a little bit more. Like that. You can have a little bit line as you want. Okay, coming over here. Okay, just holding the brush. The brush can do lots of magic for you. Okay, there you go. This can be a little bit tiny thicker. Don't make it thicker than this portion at the bottom. Okay, that's good. A little bit more. Okay, here we go. Like that. And then coming over here. And this portion going up. Okay, here you go. Like that. Again, when you're painting the tree branches, slowly. Okay, and also make some turning. Okay, that's good. Like that. That's just good. I'm gonna have a little bit branch this way going the other side. Okay, this is good. A little bit more. Like that going up, and there's a little bit going to the other side, connecting over here. And then a little bit. Okay, small. This is good. Okay, take a look at. There's another branch over here. From here going up. And here you go, like that, turning a little bit. Okay, be patient. Okay, if you want to be expressive, okay, you can always make the expressiveness. Expressionist, if you're painting from live from the location, and you can make it very expressive if you want to, and that also the timing, and make you to make decisions a lot quicker. And we have a class I'm teaching in Italy this summer, 2024. And if you're interested, take a look at the video description and look at if you can join us. So, and that's all about painting from location. And here you go. I'm going to have that coming down over here. That's good. Getting there, seeing the tree trunks in the middle. Okay. And over here, coming out here, like that. Okay, wonderful. And like that. And I don't really see much, but you can very much guessing that must be there's some branches like here, spread it. Okay, this is good. And a few line. Okay, this is good over here. And I can have this. This is pretty good. And I want some a little bit thicker. Okay, this is good. A little bit line cross over. Okay, here you go. Like that. Cross over. Like that. This is pretty good. And I'm going to do a little bit branch over there too. But this is good. I'm going to coming over here. These things just come together very, very, very good. I'm coming over here on this side. And some small trees on the side over here. This is good. Okay, that's good. Like that. There we go. Good, this is good. And some line over here. I'm going to get a little bit more, and as you see, a little bit more red. And in this area, actually still seeing quite a bit of red. Okay, here we go. Okay, here we go. Just seeing there how much red, how much blue, how much yellow in it. Okay, that's good. Okay, that's good. Like that. Okay, that's good. So I'm gonna have a little bit. Okay, make sure have enough paint. Get a little red. Open it up. Okay, have some dry brush. Okay, like that. Okay, here you go. This is good. Okay, wonderful. And like that. All right. Now it's getting there. And the bottom over here, don't worry too much about it. You can come back to have a little bit more overlaid, a little bit more. So that over here, also a little bit darker, like that. Can bring those color down over here, like that. This is good. And we'll come back a little bit more, a little bit later, down over here. So, okay, this is good. Now I'm gonna come to the top over there and have a lot more blue at the top. I'm gonna take the red color with a little bit more Prussian blue. Okay, okay, this is good. Right here. Now, a little bit, tiny more red. Okay, that's good. Okay, now I'm gonna keep the brush, open up a little bit more. Now I'm gonna take a look at this. Is a one area, a little bit thicker. Okay, think about how thick that is. Okay, a little bit thicker. Okay, here you go. Just the side brush, like that. Okay, here we go. That's a little bit thicker. And a little bit. Suggestion, the branches. Okay, keep the color going like this way. A little bit curve this way. This is good. Okay, I'm gonna get a little bit more paint coming back here. And there's a little bit thicker, but over there in the middle, and get a little bit thinner. Okay, there you go. That's good, like that. Okay, over here can be a little bit thicker. Okay, that's getting there. Get a little bit more water with the red and the blue. Okay, a little bit more red. That's just good. Okay, now keep this open like that. Okay, here you go. Now take a look at right here. Okay, that's good. Okay, a little bit thicker over here, a little bit thicker over here. Okay, a little bit softer, like that. And that's good. Here we go. A little bit thinner. Keep squinting your eye so you can see how the color, how the shape, and come together. Okay, here we go. Like that. A little bit more here. Okay, keep a little bit dynamic and easy. So have the brush open up. That's totally fine. And take a look. Get a little bit more blue, a little bit more red, a little bit more red. Okay, this is good. Now I'm gonna give it a little bit more over here, like that. Okay, that's good. Here you go. Give a little bit here. Okay, that's good. Now I'm gonna make some area a little bit thicker. And for example, over here, you can a little bit more solid, but don't make it fully solid. And I think I'm gonna let go some of the wet. Okay, here you go. Like this. A little bit more right here. Here we go, like that. A little bit, give a little gap, and coming down over here. Okay, this is good. A little bit more right here. And we come back to change a little bit color, or maybe a little bit thicker color like that. Come a little bit later, come a little bit more red. So it's get a little bit thicker. Now it is think about too light. Okay, now it's getting there. I gotta have a little bit more. Like that. Okay, that's good. Now I'm going to take a look at here. There's a whole bunch over here. I can put just a little bit more red and the blue. Get a little bit thicker. Here you go. Like that. Pretty good. I'm going to continue using the side brush. Okay, sideway brush. Okay, here we go. Like that. And here you go. Get a little bit more branches. Okay, here we go. Come back over here. Okay, this is good. Like that. This is nice. And two different group. One group the top over here, and one group a little bit lower. Okay, this is good. A little bit softer. Right over here. I'm gonna have just get a couple line coming down like that. This is pretty good. Have two different group right here. I'm gonna get a little bit tiny more red. Okay, I'm gonna get a little bit tiny more red color. And take a look right over here. Like that. This is also still close, get closer and closer to the sun. Okay, here you go. Okay, like this. Very nice. You can see that the color is actually some easy, very easy to do the transition. I'm gonna have this tiny a little bit more blue over here, like that. Now this is good. Now we're going to have the bottom over here, get a little bit more texture, but get a little bit more blue, a little bit more red, but a little bit blue, and make the color darker. I'm gonna have that. And take a look. How can we make the texture? Okay, when you get a little bit closer, I'm gonna make the texture like this first, and then we're going to have a little bit more texture at the front. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna have this a little bit more blue. Okay, a little bit more blue. I'm gonna have this from the front over here, coming up like this. Okay, here we go. And always, all the line coming out from the sun. I'm gonna get a little bit more red. Here you go. Like that. Open up a little bit. Okay, that's good. Like that. And softer. Like that. And this is good. A little bit straight. Like that. Very nice. I'm gonna keep that color like this. And the texture. Very nice. I'm gonna on this side. And it's getting there pretty good. On this, I'm going to make it a little bit darker. So I'm going to keep using this brush for now. And I'm going to just use the blue color. Here you go. Here you go. Like that. Okay, here we go. That's good. A little bit more. Darker on the top over there. So I'm going to have actually some of the texture like that. Okay, this is good. Have a little bit tiny more red. Tiny more red. Like this. And okay, that's good. A little bit tiny more texture. That's just good enough over here. And keep it there. Now I'm going to come to the side over here. I'm going to start from the yellow and orange. Okay, I'm going to get the yellow color on the edge over here. This is good. Look at that again. Right over here, like that. And from the yellow, I'm going to turn to orange and then turn to brown. Okay, like this. Okay, that's good. And I'm going to get a little bit more red. Okay, a little bit more red. Here you go, that's good. Here you go, a little bit more red. Okay, that's good. Coming over here. And then going a little bit more brown, which is get a little bit more blue into it. This is good. Here you go. Get a little bit more blue coming onto this side. Okay. Coming onto a little bit farther away, get a little bit more blue into it, a little bit tiny more blue. But don't make it too dark though, okay? It's still in the distance. So here we go. A little bit more. Like that. It's pretty good. Let's take a look at the horizontal. And this needs to be a tiny little bit higher. Okay, coming up like this. Okay. This is pretty good. I'm going to have a little bit water, just a little bit blue, tiny more blue, and just like a small flat brush coming through to make this a little bit softer, like at the bottom over here, a little bit softer. Here you go, a little bit over, a little bit softer, like that. Okay, pretty nice. And I'm going to clean up a little bit over here. Doesn't need to be that much. I'm going to just take a little bit tiny more red. And when it closer to over here. Okay. Nice. Just make the calligraphy brush a little bit more small flat brush like this. And this is good. Coming all the way here. And now see that? This is very nice. Very nice edge. Okay, make this a tiny little bit lighter. That's just good. Okay, let's take a look on the side over there. And maybe tiny a little bit more blue like that. And also going the direction of from the sun. Okay, open up a little bit. Okay, a little bit softer. Like that. Okay, now I'm gonna coming back here to have the red color. Okay, again, have the tiny red color. And here we go. And over here, coming, actually a little bit more yellow because it's so close to the sun. I'm going to have that a little bit yellow into it. Okay, here we go. Like that. And from here up. Okay, like this. That's good. Up over here. Okay, that is good. And then over here. A little bit line like this. Wonderful. And then the top, it got a little bit more tiny, a little bit more blue. So let's take a little bit tiny blue. Okay, that's good. And right here. very thin, a little bit thinner, and over here, like that, and the line over here. That's good. Like that, that's just good. And a little bit coming down. That's pretty good. And I'm also going to have, that's actually pretty nice already, but I'm going to make it down over here, have a little bit more red. Okay, a little bit more red over here. I'm going to have this a little bit more gradually from red, connect down over here. Okay, here you go, like this. And I'm going to have this coming down a little bit tiny more. And this a little bit more red. Can enrich this color. That's nice. Okay, a little bit more those small branches. Okay, like that. Pretty good. That's good. Okay, very nice. And let's see, what else do we need to do? And we may still need a little bit more. Okay, maybe a little bit coming a little bit closer, like that. Connect over here. Okay, here we go. That's good. And now I'm going to take a look at the bottom over here. I'm going to have a little bit tiny more red. Okay, now right in here, like that. Okay, that's good. Coming over here, coming down over here. That's good. And a little bit more red over here, connected. And here you go. That's good. Okay, have a little bit texture. That's good. I'm going to have a little bit more blue over here, like that too. Now I think this is finished. If you also like oil painting, you can see how I paint this oil painting in another YouTube channel. The link in the description. I will see you in my next video.